Today, we have seen with our own eyes the facts and evidence of brutal crimes against humanity and numerous human sufferings in the consumerist format of our society. There is no justification for violence in society. There is no justification for murders. It's a shame that all of us, the majority, allow that. Until now, with our own hands and our own choices. We support the animal conditions of existence imposed on us by the consumerist format. We do not express our inner vital need as a clear position and ultimatum. We are people, and we want to live. We are for the creative society. I want to address each of you. I want to address you, my friend. I want us all to remember that every day of our inaction is a loss of someone's life. Every day when we are inactive in building the creative society, people die. If we all together do not take action right now, tomorrow the consumerist format will take the lives of you and me and our loved ones. Some are dying of hunger and thirst right now. At this very moment, some are suffering from brutality and violence, while others are caught in the middle of a war and have lost everything overnight: their jobs, homes, and families. Yet, even yesterday, these people had no idea that today they would find themselves in such inhumane conditions of existence that today they would be killed. Are you sure this won't happen to you and your family tomorrow? Look, this is Ukraine. This is the city of Bucha, where masses of people died back on February 23rd this year. They were making life plans and building prospects. But on February 24th, early in the morning, a war came to them. Are you sure that tomorrow a war will not come to you, to your home, and take the lives of your family and friends? Are you sure a war won't take your life too? Are you sure of that in our consumer society where human life is not worth anything? The idiocy and absurdity is that the cause of these horrors and the ruined destinies of millions of people is the result of the ambitions of a few psychopaths who have gained power over us in the consumerist format. Let's take 1 million people. They are all wonderful people, except for just a handful of individuals. But these few individuals, because of their extreme greed and tyranny, use the rest of people for their own selfish, despicable interest. With our own hands, they force us to maintain the conditions of the consumerist format. which turns people into non-humans. And later, they claim that this is the way it should be, that it is our nature, it is natural. But this is not normal. Let's tell the truth. Yes, there are psychopaths in our society, and there will always be. But will they be able to seize power over people in the creative society? No, because power in the creative society belongs solely to the people. In the creative society, psychopaths will not be able to wage wars and destroy millions of us. They will not be able to brainwash us through their corrupt media. They will not be able to be the rightful owners of all human and resource potential. But most importantly, they will not be able to satisfy their own ambitions with our blood at the cost of our lives. Today, in the consumerist format, psychopaths are not locked in asylums. They are at the top of power over us. That is why the genocide of mankind continues every day. And our world is overflowing with the human grief and suffering. We have no right to leave such a world to our children. We need to change the conditions and build the creative society with our own hands. We are constantly divided because it is easier for them to control us. That way, the pit us against each other like dogs, forced to quarrel and hate one another. Are you familiar with a situation when people ask you, whom do you support? These people or the others? Do you support the left or the right? Who do you belong to? That party or the other? That religion or the other? Are we cattle or things that belong to someone? Even when such questions are asked, we are left with no chance of being united, of being one peace-loving humanity. But today, even when attempts are made to artificially set us at odds and separate us from one another, our position in life is clear and unambiguous. We answer all the questions from the corrupt media and collaborationists. We are people. We want to live. We are for the creative society. And only this position is our future. A person with a consumerist worldview cannot understand the sincerity of people, their selfless motive to live and act for the sake of the future of all mankind, not just for themselves. All the more so in our time, when humanity is under the threat of destruction, when we are attacked by the most ruthless enemy, the climate. The consumerist format is cruel, but it is nothing compared to the global climate change that brings devastating cataclysms. There are heroes who see the global threat and the entire absurdity of the consumerist format. And they are not silent. They are active. After all, we all understand the world is a big place. And although it is difficult to inform everyone, it is possible. We understand that the world mass media are now working for the collaborationist. Everything is in private hands. The corrupt media will do nothing to alert people to the global threat of an undeclared climate war and the need to save people through unification and building the creative society. It can only be done by us, people themselves, who realize the importance of this moment and the importance of informing everyone right now, while we still have some time. You see, no one but us. These heroes are ordinary people. True heroes are those who, despite the fact that their own lives are in real danger of death, despite all fears and risks, they continue to act, to take care of others, to knock on other people's doors, even to those who are heartless, because they are also people. The heroes act for the sake of all humanity, knowing that every second may be their last. Participants of the Creative Society Project, the people of AllatRa, are the true heroes. They, like all of us, are scared. They are scared to sit under bombardments in basements. But they act. They inform. They are scared for their lives, of their near and dear ones. But they act. They are afraid of what will happen to them in a minute. War, famine, crisis. But they inform, because they have the meaning of life, to save people's lives, to save the future of humanity, because they have a higher goal that prevails over their own fear. These are the true heroes, and we are proud that we have such people in the world. People who are worthy of the title of a real human. A human with the capital letter H. A human of peace. A hero is the one who is able to overcome his own fear and act for the sake of the future of all humankind. You may ask, what motivates them? I'll tell you, life. Here in the Creative Society Project, people value every human life. They are driven by the love for humanity and true altruism. AllatRa is what is saving the lives of millions of people today instead of taking them. AllatRa creates conditions for becoming a true free human, not a slave of the consumerist format or a soulless creature, a puppet in someone's hands. To be able to preserve one's humanness and love for people. Being on the verge of life and death, and at the same time to light the fire of faith and hope in others. Isn't it heroism? Many of our participants, having escaped the horrors of war, came out grateful for everything they had endured because they didn't give up. They helped everyone around them and continued participating in the Creative Society project as best as they could. While others were falling into despair and panic, participants of the Creative Society project clearly understood and realized the purpose and meaning of life, the value of time and attention. And most importantly, they became particularly convinced of the great power of unity and solidarity when people help each other selflessly, honestly, and with their own hearts open. Isn't this the dream of each of us? To live in a world of love and friendship? The hardest part of building the Creative Society is to explain so that people understand that it benefits everyone, for each and everyone. It's the only salvation, the only chance to survive and gain real life. After all, the Creative Society opens up tremendous prospects and frontiers for all of humanity. Now, our weapon is the word. There's nothing stronger than words. Wars begin and wars end with words. Words can destroy, divide, and kill, or they can create, unite, and save. We have been brainwashed into thinking that we are stupid, worthless, and incapable of anything. But this is not true. We are the ones on whom the entire consumerist format is based. But we are also the ones who can change it. We are the ones who can get together, build the Creative Society, and create a better future for humanity. We must realize that if the climate catches us in this consumerist, selfish format, all of us will perish. Those who have already faced the hits of climate, to them, this understanding is absolute truth. But soon everyone will be personally convinced of that. We are already suffering casualties in the global climate war because we are divided, because we now listen to the corrupt media and collaborationists and do everything we can to lose this war. Think about it. Is there any idea in this consumerist format worth your life? Is there anything more valuable than human life? If we continue existing in the darkness of hatred and hostility, we will not survive. If we do not meet each other halfway and do not unite, we will not survive. If we do not build the Creative Society, we will not survive. We must make sure that we will never be in another world again. We must keep our children safe and build a different world, a world of justice, equality, and freedom. The most valuable thing every person has in this world is life. Your life and the life of others. We can only survive together. And it is life that we must learn to value and cherish above all. Do you want to live? I'm sure you do. Then it is time to do whatever it takes to survive. We have a choice. Either all of us will die, remaining scattered egoists, or we will learn to live together in one peace and mutual respect as one humanity. We can only survive if we unite and win. I wish all of us to live under peaceful skies, in freedom and prosperity, in accordance with the true values of a healthy human society. I believe we can do that. I look forward to the day when we walk together out of the darkness into the sun and become one true civilization. I dream of looking into the eyes of my children and grandchildren with pride and no longer being afraid for their future. I know we can only do this together because we are people and we want to live.